Good afternoon. Thank you for being here with us after a very long General Affairs Council. We have with us Minister Adam Szłapka and Commissioner McGrath. The Polish word of the day will be wybory, which has two meanings in Polish. One is election, another one is choices. So important choices to be made. Minister, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. As Wojtek said, it's the last General Affairs Council in Brussels, but we won't say goodbye yet, as we hope to see many of you in Luxembourg in June. It was a very long and rich meeting with important decisions and very good discussions. I'm pleased because it proves that the Polish presidency delivers on its priorities. So let's start with the decisions. First of all, we adopted the new investment program for defense called SAFE. It's an unprecedented instrument with 150 billion euros, which will boost our defense capabilities, which I'm proud to say it's very much in line with Polish presidency security priorities, Security Europe. I would like to thank COREPER ambassador for the work on this issue, especially the Ambassador Agnieszka Bartol. It's a great work. I think it's the fastest program that ever European Union has adopted. So I'm really proud of that. And I'm very happy that we finally also on the EU level we become more serious about security. It's clear that the more we invest in our defense, the better we deter those who wish us harm. Another Polish presidency priority is simplification, and here I'm happy to announce we adopted the Council's position related to the EU's Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, CBAM, as a part of the Commission's Omnibus simplification package. The idea here is to reduce administrative burdens and make life easier for EU companies. Today we also adopted the Presidency conclusion on strengthening EU democratic resilience, supported by 25 member states. It's such a crucial topic nowadays. Foreign interference, especially online, are a part of our daily life, and we simply cannot be defenseless. We face similar challenges across the EU, and if we work together, our response can be stronger. These conclusions will serve as an input to work of the Commission, the Democracy Shield. I'm sure that Commissioner will tell a little more about that. We also held the 8th hearing on Hungary as part of Article 7 procedure triggered by the European Parliament. The Commission provided its assessment of the recent developments, highlighting that the concerns about the respect of the rule of law persist. For sure, Commissioner will brief you more detail about that. Many delegations took the floor, some expressing concerns, some asking questions. Minister Boka replied, provided Hungarian point of view. We also kicked off the preparation for the European Council in June. On the agenda, again, security and defense and Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. Leaders will also discuss the latest developments in the Middle East. They will also have a discussion on competitiveness and the EU's role in the world. We also discussed the request by Spain to include Catalan, Basque and Galician in regulation which govern the EU's language regime. It was a constructive debate. Some intervening delegations expressed support, some others highlighted the need for further clarifications, particularly regarding the legal, financial and practical aspect of the proposal. Taking into account the debate, especially the questions raised, we decided to continue the works. Finally, the Czech delegation addressed the current situation with the Radio Free Europe, which is facing a funding shortfall. Several member states expressed strong support to the radio. Thank you.
Commissioner, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you, Adam, for your opening remarks, and thanks to all of you for being here late into the evening. And I was pleased to attend the very important General Affairs Council today, and it proved to be another opportunity for constructive discussions on the rule of law and democratic resilience, among a number of other important topics. We should never forget that the rule of law and democracy are founding values of our Union. Let me begin with the discussion on Hungary today. It was the 8th formal hearing of Hungary under the Article 7 procedure. Hungary first presented its position, and I then provided an update on the issues covered by the European Parliament's recent proposal that launched the Article 7 procedure back in 2018. And after that, there was an exchange of views among the Member States. I reiterated that the Commission shares many of the concerns expressed in the recent proposal of the European Parliament, and this was again clearly outlined in the 2024 Rule of Law report. But since then, since that report, there have been further developments in Hungary which have the Commission's full attention. In particular, we do have serious concerns about the draft law on transparency tabled in Parliament earlier this month, and I raised this again at the hearing today. The Commission believes that if adopted, the proposed legislation would constitute a serious breach of EU principles and EU law. And last week, together with the Executive Vice President Henry Verkunen, I wrote to the Hungarian government asking that the draft law be withdrawn from the legislative process. If the law is adopted, the Commission will not hesitate to use the tools at its disposal to ensure that EU law is safeguarded. And I cannot emphasise this enough. The Commission is unwavering in its commitment to uphold democracy and the rule of law across the EU. We will act decisively and without hesitation whenever necessary to protect these fundamental principles. We know how important civil society organisations are. Their work is crucial, and that is why we remain committed to fostering an environment that enables them to do their important work across the EU, and this of course includes access to funding. As you know, in autumn of last year, the Commission referred Hungary to the Court of Justice because it considers the law establishing the Sovereignty Office and its investigative activities to be in breach of EU law. And during today's hearing, I also informed ministers about these issues concerning the independence of the judiciary and the latest developments regarding Hungary's constitutional and electoral system. There has also been a constitutional amendment establishing the so-called primacy of children's right to protection and care. This provision has already been implemented through a specific law which allows the police to ban public demonstrations that breach the so-called child protection law. The new law also allows the use of AI-assisted facial recognition to identify the participants in such public demonstrations, who may then be subject to a fine of around €500. And let me be clear, the right to peaceful assembly is enshrined in the EU's Charter of Fundamental Rights. It is not a threat to children, nor to anyone else. It is a core element of our democracies, and it must be protected at all times. Our Union is founded on freedom and equality. Everyone should be able to be who they are, to live freely and to love whom they choose. I would like to recall that the Commission has already taken Hungary to court for its so-called child protection law. The case is now under review by the Court of Justice. A hearing took place in the autumn of last year, and the opinion of the Advocate General in respect of this law is expected in early June. In addition, the Commission continues to have serious concerns regarding the absence of procedural safeguards and effective oversight in secret surveillance measures outside criminal proceedings. All in all, today's hearing highlighted that significant concerns persist and regrettably they have been aggravated. The Commission's position overall has not changed. The Article 7 procedure should be maintained as long as the issues that triggered it remain unresolved. As I made clear again today, the Commission, as always, continues to stand ready to engage constructively with the Hungarian authorities on all these issues. As Adam has said, we also had country-specific discussions today. They were conducted based on the principles of objectivity, non-discrimination and equal treatment. We covered Slovakia, Sweden and Belgium in our discussions today. We provided an update as a Commission since the 2024 Rule of Law report on the recommendations provided to each of these three Member States. We're here to engage in dialogue with all of the Member States states and to prevent problems from emerging or indeed deepening. And as you know, we are now at an advanced stage of preparation for the 2025 Rule of Law report, and we look forward to presenting that in July, and it will serve as a basis for further discussions under the upcoming Danish presidency. We had a discussion today, both over lunch and also in the Council itself, on democratic resilience, and I took the opportunity to provide an update on our work in developing the European Democracy Shield, which we plan to bring forward in Q3 of this year. And I want to acknowledge the work of Adam and the Polish presidency on bringing forward presidency conclusions on democratic resilience. They are a valuable input for our ongoing work on democracy, and in particular on framing the upcoming Democracy Shield. I made it clear that the Commission is fully available to increase its support to Member States and in respect of Member State competences, particularly, of course, recognising the competence that Member States have for the conduct of elections. We will be adopting a whole-of-society approach. It will be a comprehensive communication that we will issue in respect of the Shield. We've just concluded the public consultation, and we remain available for ongoing dialogue with the Member States and, of course, through engagement with the Special European Parliament Committee that has been established as well. Adam has covered the CBAM. Good to see that we reached a general approach today following very constructive discussions at Council. He has also dealt with the discussion that we had around the 3 languages in Spain, possibly receiving official recognition. And finally, to say that we discussed the concerning situation of Radio Free Europe in an effort to provide for the short-term needs of Radio Free Europe or Radio Liberty. The Commission has already allocated €5.5 million through the European Endowment for Democracy. The challenges faced by Radio Free Europe underscore the vital role of independent media as a beacon of hope and as a guardian of democracy. And the Commission services remain in regular contact with the management team at Radio Free Europe, and we encourage the Member States to address the issue through a Team Europe approach. So thank you for your attention, and look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, let's start with Lily.
Thank you very much. I'm Lily from Reuters. I have a question for each. So first of all, Commissioner, when it comes to the Hungarian legislation targeting LGBTQ plus persons, that the legislations that were adopted in March and April, is the Commission planning on launching infringement proceedings on those? And on the transparency bill, if adopted, will the Commission ask for interim measures to try to stop the impact of that bill being felt by civil society, given the potential harm that civil society has raised concern about? And then, Minister, also when it comes to Hungary and the Article 7 hearing, Member States have been raising concerns about Hungary in various forms for 15 years. And one thing we hear a lot around Brussels is concern about Hungary blocking certain files. Given that there aren't enough votes to actually go all the way with Article 7, is the Presidency considering any ways, any creative ways to circumvent Hungary on certain files? Thank you.
Okay, so I'm happy to go first in relation to the law that could lead to the banning of certain gatherings, including the Pride Parade. There are a number of very important issues at stake here. One is respect for the Charter of Fundamental Rights that we have in the European Union now for the last 25 years. And in this case, in particular, the right to freedom of assembly, the freedom to gather peacefully, it is a fundamental right. And also we have serious concerns about the proposed use of AI-driven facial recognition technology. And so we are continuing to examine the legislation in question. We have have not made any final decision, but we have not ruled out any course of action at this point in time. And again, I would underline that the genesis, the parent law as such, is the child protection law, which the Commission has taken infringement proceedings against Hungary in respect of that law. And as I said in my opening remarks, we are expecting an opinion from the Advocate General in early June, and then possibly a court judgment, CJEU judgment, by the end of the year. And in relation to the second law, the law on transparency of public life of national sovereignty, I think we have been especially clear of our views in relation to that. Grave concerns about that proposed law. It is a law put forward by a Member of Parliament, but we have seen in the past that the Hungarian government has used that vehicle to bring forward and then adopt legislation brought forward by individual members that support the government. So we are taking this matter very seriously, and that is why we took the step late last week to write to the Hungarian government and ask them explicitly to withdraw this piece of legislation. In the event that they do not do so, we have said we will not hesitate to take the necessary steps to ensure the full application of EU law, and in that regard, should they go ahead and enact that legislation in its current form, we are not ruling out seeking interim measures.
You know, the European Union is based on values written in the Article 7 of our treaty, and the rule of law is one of these fundamental values. Every single member state should follow the rules we agreed in treaties. And as we know, there are concerns from European Parliament. The Article 7 procedure is the recent proposal is from European Parliament. There are concerns from the European Commission, and many member states are raising the concerns about the rule of law in Hungary. So be sure that this discussion will be continued, for sure.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the other side of the room. Jack, maybe?
Thanks. Jack Power with the Irish Times. Just a question for the Commissioner. Commissioner McGrath, do you have any plans to attend Budapest Pride this year in solidarity, as some other MEPs are planning to do? Thanks.
Thank you, Jack. So I'm not in a position to travel myself in late June for the Pride Parade, but that's not the most important issue. The most important issue is the right of Hungarian people to gather peacefully and to enjoy a parade in support of LGBTIQ+ rights. And in that regard, we support their right to do so. And as you said, there may well be many public figures who are travelling and who are attending the Pride Parade, but what I will do is focus on the job at hand of actually ensuring that the Charter of Fundamental Rights is upheld, that we support the rule of law in the European Union, and that we complete the analysis of the legislation concerned, and that we stand foursquare behind the right of citizens in the European Union to gather peacefully and to engage in a parade.
Thank you. All right, maybe a colleague here, please.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm Anna Buch from La Vanguardia. I have two questions for the Polish presidency about the Spanish languages debate. I would like to know first if you could agree to include this topic again in the next General Affairs Council in June if Spain asks for it. And second, if I may, if you could confirm that today 7 countries raised concerns about this issue. Thank you.
Yeah, as you know, as a presidency, you are responsible to provide a good space for the discussion. If there is the formal request for any member states to include something into the agenda, we are doing it as a presidency. So, of course, we are ready to work on that if the Spanish government will ask about that. So of course, we are ready to work on that. Yes, during the discussion, there were several countries that raised the concerns about legal, financial and practical issues, and it's all now in Spanish hands to clarify all these concerns.
Thank you. And there's a lady in the back, if you are there already.
Hi, thank you. Amaya Portugal, Basque Public Radio. You said that it's in the Spanish hands to clarify, but is the Polish presidency willing now to ask for a further cost assessment to the Commission, even a legal assessment? And if not, why isn't it the right time now? Thank you.
You know, there are some concerns, and we are going to discuss with the Commission, because the Commission also explained the position on this issue. So I think there will be another assessment from the Commission. But this is the question for the Commission.
Yeah, so on that point, in relation to the decision itself, as I outlined earlier on, the Commission doesn't have any formal role in the process under Article 342 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union. The Commission already has provided an estimate of the potential additional cost, and that was based on prior experience of the Irish language actually being designated as an official language of the European Union. And we will engage with the Presidency in relation to how we can further assist. The normal process would be that if there is a decision to amend a regulation, the Commission would then do the in-depth analysis and assessment prior to the formal adoption of the change in the regulation. But we'll engage with the Council in relation to what they have in mind, and we will be as supportive as we possibly can to assist the Council in making the actual decision on this matter.
All right. Roland, please.
Thank you very much, Roland Papnipseva. Commissioner, you talk about the Pride Bad as if it might happen or may take place, but actually there is already a protest which was banned by the Hungarian police yesterday, which is supposed to take place this Sunday, and it's also about LGBT plus rights. And today 20 member states asked you to do something. A number of MEPs in different formats also asked the Commission to do something about it. So you said that there is an ongoing infringement case about the child protection law. Why not asking interim measures now on that to protect the freedom of assembly of Hungarians this week already? And to the presidency, so it's been, as you also said, it's been a number of years. Hungary, Minister Boka said that it's a political hysteria. However, there's a big majority of member states who want to move forward, even though it falls short, as far as we know, to the 4/5 majority. So you as the presidency, are you trying to convince those member states who are not Hungary, but not yet on board on moving forward? Because you as a presidency, you have a role in making sure that the things which are in front of your desk are moving forward. So what are the steps you are doing in this regard?
So what I would say in response to your question is that we are monitoring the situation very closely. I am aware of the decision of the police that you refer to. That is the subject of judicial review. Minister Boka made the point at the meeting today that there has not been any court decision to ban any gathering or any demonstration under this particular law, but this could well be a step on the road to that actually happening. This is a serious development. We are following the situation very closely, and what we need to assess is compliance with EU law, including the EU treaties and the Charter of Fundamental Rights. So no course of action has been ruled out at this point in time, and I can assure everyone that the Commission is very closely monitoring the developing situation in Hungary in respect of this matter.
As I said, the rule of law is one of the fundamental values that the European Union is based, and there are very strong concerns among the European institutions and the member states in terms of rule of law in Hungary. And we as a presidency are responsible to move forward with the discussion. And for sure the discussion will be continued. And if the discussion will have some conclusion on that term, we will be ready to move forward with that.
Thank you. Let's take two more questions. So please.
Hi, this is Lauren Heremans from Dutch news agency ANP. I wanted to talk about the conclusions on the EU democratic resilience. Minister, you called this a crucial point. However, 2 member states did not sign off on this. I was wondering whether you could disclose who these 2 member states were, and if not, whether you could disclose what were the exact reasons why they could not sign off on these conclusions, since you said there was such broad support overall. Thank you.
I think, of course, democratic resilience is one of the priorities of Polish presidency because it's a part of our priorities. It's about disinformation, foreign interference, and I think this is a very strong majority of countries who support it. There are two countries, I think I can tell that it's Hungary and Slovakia. And they just were simply not ready to support this kind of conclusion. You may answer yourself why not, but I think most countries, most member states of the European Union are ready to work on this, and this is, I think, very valuable input to the Democracy Shield and the other actions we are going to take together with the Commission.
All right, and the last question goes to Sandor, please.
Thank you, Sándor from Euronews. Commissioner, what's your advice to those Hungarian NGOs and media who are afraid of being blacklisted once this new law is adopted? Should they follow the rules and drop foreign fundings, even drop EU fundings until, the European Court of Justice decides? How should they behave? What's your advice?
Well, my message to them is that we will support them fully. I met many of them when I visited Budapest back in March, and I heard directly from them their experience and their perspective that the space within which they are seeking to work and to navigate is shrinking. And that is a cause of great concern because in upholding the rule of law, we need to have a strong civil society and a vibrant, independent, pluralist media sector. They are watchdogs and they are absolutely vital to the work that we do in supporting rule of law and also in underpinning a healthy democracy where people can be openly challenged. So my message to them is that we support them, we will work with them, and that we will defend EU law and we will defend the Charter of Fundamental Rights in every way we possibly can. And we recognise as a Commission the responsibility we have as guardian of the treaties, and it is a responsibility that we will fulfil.
Thank you very much. Dobrej nocy. That concludes this presentation.
Thank you very much and see you in Luxembourg next time.
Thank you all.